Yo, 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 day 89. My hair's a mess right now. I don't know what's going on with it. Who cares? I don't care. I don't leave the house anyway, so dreams to make. So, oh my god, like, do you not see that? Damn. Maybe I should wear a hat. Do I have my hat? Okay. Let me wear my hat. I'll wear it this way so you can see my face. Yeah, today was kind of similar to the day before in terms of I really should be doing social media stuff and editing and all this jazz, but I'm just really feeling the urge to write music right now and write songs, especially for the album, because I feel like, as I said a couple days ago, when I was looking at the track list, there was a lot that I actually didn't really like anymore. Songs that just didn't really appeal to me as much as they used to. I don't really want to go through recording them if I don't really have anything, if I have any affinity towards them, because at the time, I would really like them. But if I'm recording a song right now that I just have no interest in, I feel like that's a disservice to the song, and also I could be doing better things. There's a difference between me not liking the song but still thinking, it has a purpose, right? I could not like a song and people might love it and whatever. And I know you're not meant to create music like that, but there is a world where I would not like the song, but I think it would have a purpose for the album, and I think people would like it and I would still record it. But the songs I'm seeing on the track list have kind of neither purpose. The only purpose I see is that the premise of the actual song, and all it needs is just a slight retweak. But yeah, so I've written 3 songs this week, plus finished recording another one, right? I finished recording someone on Monday, and then I wrote a song Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I wrote another song on Friday, and wrote another song on Saturday, which is today. So, and those 3 songs, well, 2 of them will definitely be on the album today and yesterday. The other one I worked on Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm not sure yet. I think it's good. I just don't know where it would fit in the album. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at the moment. The song that I was writing is kind of a weird one because when I first started writing it, I had the idea of writing something about how I'm like, I feel like I kind of lean on this concept. I really want to write a song about it, but it always just kind of falls through. Like, I always have a good intro to the song, but I just don't know what to talk about in the chorus and second verse, etc. The song's about how, I can even tell you the intro. The song's about how I'm wondering what life is about, but all I do is stay inside. Right? I feel like recently, ever since I was gonna say ever since the breakup, but maybe it was a couple months after that, I've been kind of searching for, I feel like I've spoken about this a lot, where my outlook on life is just different, and not in a good way or a bad way, but I am just not the same person I was last year. I feel like post breakup me and pre breakup me are like completely different people. I know a lot of people say that, but it is very clear how different we are. Like, those 2 versions of me are, I've spoken about this before, so I don't really want to go on about it, but it's just more how I perceive life and just how, yeah, yeah, it's kind of just like that. I've spoken about it before. I don't know what day it is, so if you do want to listen to that, I don't know what episode it was. I love how I did. Um, Basically, long story short, I'm very much of the perception of nothing really matters anymore. In terms of, there's no point kind of, it's kind of like I think the best way to describe it is like existentialism kind of mindset of nothing really matters. Whereas last year I was kind of more like, I have this goal, I have this goal, I have this goal, I have this goal. I'm gonna reach that goal, I'm gonna reach that goal. Where this year I didn't even set any goals for me. So I'm just like, just get it done, man. It doesn't matter, kind of vibe, if that makes sense. And it's not in a nothing matters as in a demotivating way. Because like, if anything, I'm working 10 times harder than I did last year. So it's not in the terms of, oh, nothing matters, I'm gonna slack off, right? That's not what I'm referring to. It's just more that nothing really matters in terms of anything, like just get it done kind of thing. But it's not really that either. It's not really like nothing really matters in a discipline mindset. It's more of just a nothing really matters in like a whole worldview mindset of just focus on what you want to do, your craft, and just get it done kind of thing. Don't worry about, and yeah, goals are important, but I feel like for this process in my life of what I'm doing, I just feel like music in general as well. Goals, I mean, I don't know, because I hit the goal I hit last year. I hit 50, so my goal was 50K last year, and I hit 60,000, right? So I hit my goal of monthly listeners, and yeah, it was great. I remember the jubilation I felt when I hit 50K. It was great for like 10 minutes, whatever, doesn't matter. And not that it doesn't matter. I mean, it's like doesn't matter that it only lasts 10 minutes. Yeah, that's fine. That's natural. It's gonna happen. You're gonna be happy for a bit, and then it kind of wears away. But this year, I'm just kind of like, I guess the only goal I have is making music I enjoy, because I can't control how. The more I do music, the more I realize I can't control how songs are perceived. I can do the marketing, I can do amazing marketing, I can do amazing songwriting, and yeah, that does control how the songs are perceived. But after that's done, it's down to you guys. Like, it's not, and this is not like me saying, oh, it's a lottery ticket, because that's not what I said. Like, the marketing is important, the songwriting is important, but there's a lot of cases where, and I feel like I always refer back to how it was. I don't really think anything of it, but it's my most streamed song by a mile. So, you know, these things happen. But yeah, I feel like I've spoken about this before, so I don't really want to talk about it again. I feel like that's the best way of describing it. But yeah. Oh my god, what the hell's going on? But basically, what I feel like I do need to feel like the premise of the song that I'm working on in terms of, oh, so that's what I was talking about. I feel like recently I've been kind of trying to dictate, not dictate, that's the wrong word, kind of determine what, I mean, I know it's difficult, right, because I'm 23, so I'm not meant to know everything, right? But I feel like recently I've just been kind of trying to reassess my idea of what life's about and what life is, right? Because for the longest time, even now, if I'm not doing anything music related, I feel like I'm wasting life. I feel like I'm wasting time. Like, yeah, gym, going to the gym and, you know, seeing friends. But it's only seeing friends. Like, it's weird, right? If I just see friends without doing any work before that, I feel guilty in myself, right? So it's like, it's like my mind is okay with me hanging out with my friends if only I've done everything I need to do today, right? If there, if I don't have a day, if every single day of my life, I'm not wording this right. Basically, if I have a day with no perceived progress, with nothing that progresses me, then I will feel guilty. I will have some type of way about myself. Like, I will be like down or like very critical of myself, right? So it's weird in that sense. It's like, you know, why should I feel guilty hanging out with my friends? You know what I mean? Like, if I want to have a good time with the boys, I should have a good time with the boys. Like, but the way my mind operates is at the moment is I have to have some sort of progression in that day for me to not feel guilty about doing something that doesn't include quote unquote progress, right? And recently I've just been thinking, when will that end? Like, in a bad way. Like, I was on the way back from my brother's house. He lives like an hour away, right? So I was on the way back from them, and I saw a couple walking down the street, and it was a Sunday, right? And they were just walking down the street, whatever. And in my head, I was like, but what's their purpose? Like, what's their meaning to life? What's their do they like do either of them like do either of them have a sense of progression? Do either of them have a goal? Do either of them, like, what's their purpose? And then I was looking back and I realized, what, maybe that is the purpose. Them together as a whole, like, you know what I mean? Like, but when I was like, what are they doing? They're just walking down the street, like. But it wasn't like, it wasn't the sense of that they're walking down the street. It was more just like that they're together doing nothing, right? So it's not like the sense of anyone that's walking down the street, I'm thinking, what are you guys doing? It's more the sense of, you know, maybe that's not what I'm trying to say is, right, it wasn't them walking down the street. It wasn't even particularly them, okay? It wasn't specifically them. I just saw them two and was thinking, what's their purpose, kind of thing. And I'm thinking, why am I thinking that way? Like, that is maybe the whole point of life is that, what they're doing, being together, you know, spending time with each other. Like, that is the purpose of life. Yeah, like, when I thought that subconsciously, I was like, what am I, like, I gotta start rethinking myself, because how am I seeing just people doing nothing, right? And how am I being critical of that? You know what I mean? It's like that kind of, and that was like, when was that? 3 or 4 months ago? I think, no, it must have been longer than that. That seeing that, like, it made me know that my way of thinking about life was just wrong, right? Because, like, again, it's not them specifically. It's not them walking down the street. The activity of them walking down the street specifically. It's not that. It was the sense of they're doing nothing together, right? Whereas if I was doing that, I would feel guilty. You know what I mean? And that's just how it feels at the moment. If I'm not doing any sense of work, mine's going crazy. So yeah, when that happened, I realized that like I have to kind of rethink and reevaluate how I perceive this life, because that can't be normal for me to like. I think you can like live that way in like seasons, right? Kind of have that way of thinking for an album. But if I'm doing that, if I'm thinking like that this forever, it's like surely there's got to be more than life than this. Surely there's got to be a different perspective of life. Surely I need to stop thinking like this. And it's like, when do I stop thinking like this? Is it when I'm able to do music full time? Is it when I'm, a full time musician? Is it when the album's out? Like, when is that? Because there is no way that is a healthy way of looking at life. Seeing people do nothing, seeing people kind of, and this isn't do nothing in a critical sense, this is do nothing in a, in a kind of literal sense, as in do nothing as in no progression. And again, not in a critical sense, just doing nothing. Like, again, like me right now technically is doing nothing, right? It's not like, oh, they're doing nothing. It's more in a literal sense of, in terms of in regards to like progressing on something. I just thought that can't be right. That just cannot be a good way of how I'm viewing life. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like I've been saying that a lot in my lyrics. Like, even Selfish, the song I'm dropping in 3 days. Damn, it's in 3 days. Yeah, out 3 days. What, like, even in the intro and the pre-chorus, there's got to be more than life. There's got to be more to life than this. And in that sense, I'm talking about what I'm doing right now. There's got to be more to life than waking up, recording, writing music, recording, going to work, going to the gym. It's got to be more to life than this. Like, and it's like the other thing that I was saying, like, even in the lyrics that I was writing, that song kind of fell through. It's work in progress. I said, I wonder what this life is all about. How will I know if all I do is stay inside this house? All my life, it feels like I've been missing out. And in a lot of cases, that's true. Like, as I said, after that kind of incident. I mean, this happened before. I've been thinking about life way before that, so I'm not going to say that shifted everything. I'm not going to say that, because that's not what happened, right? But seeing that did kind of, it made me think a bit more, right? But it wasn't like the main reason why I'm starting thinking about purpose in life more. I've always been thinking about that. But I don't know. It's very strange. And that's just, yeah. It's just weird. It's just weird, and I don't know what to do about it, because I just feel like I just always feel guilty about not doing music. And it's just like, when I'm in a relationship next, I just don't, I feel like I just need my mindset to kind of be different. because otherwise it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna end well, and it won't be their fault. It will be mine. Yeah. So, for the time being, it's fine, I guess, because I'm still working on an album. So, and I'm single, so there's no, you know, I guess there's no sudden need to kind of change it, but there will be a time where I'll need to change it. That time is not today, but then again, it kind of is today, because it still refers back to the lines I was talking about before, in terms of how am I meant to know about what life's all about if I don't go outside, which is true, because I haven't been. So how am I meant to know if I just stay inside these four walls? But then again, if I don't stay inside these four walls, how am I meant to be a musician? So it's kind of like, what do I do? It's a double-edged sword. But yeah, the new song I wrote sounds really good. I feel like the album needed another song like that, like the one I've just written. Yeah, I feel like it needed another song like that in the album. Kind of just like a slow, yearning song. I feel like I've got, let me check the track list, the infamous track list that you've never seen. You'll see one day. I feel like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I want a couple more, so we'll get in there. I mean, the track list is looking a lot better than it was last week, right? Because I've written 3 songs that kind of fit the mold of what I want the album to sound like. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Another idea I kind of thought today when I was walking back from the gym is that on the song titles in the album on Spotify or Apple Music, wherever, I'm gonna have the date that I wrote the song next to the song name, because that kind of fits the theme of time will always pass and how I'm processing everything, right? I think that's cool. I know no one does that, but I don't care. I just think it'll look cool. I think it'll kind of set more of a story to the album, to everything. It also shows that, the process of recovering from a breakup isn't linear, in terms of, I've literally written another sad song about her, about my ex, in April. I've written one in November. I've written one in January. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just a couple months after the breakup. It can be, in next month it's a year, which is crazy to me. But yeah, so again, it kind of shows that it's not linear, which I like. I was also thinking about how should the song, should it be in chronological order in terms of the dates, for the release? And no, I'm not going to do that, because again, it shows it's not linear. And I like to, I've already got a kind of idea of what the opening track is going to be and what the last track's going to be. And it just wouldn't make sense for the last track to be in the middle, because the last track is me saying goodbye in the album, and that I'm not going to be here for a while. So if I say that in the middle of the track and then you hear a next song, it's like, what the fuck? So, yeah. I'm feeling a lot more confident about the album now than I was. I'm still gonna keep writing. Yeah, I'm still just gonna keep writing Sunday and Monday. And yeah, that's where I'm at for the time being. I'll keep just writing new songs. I really like the song I wrote on Saturday with the auto-tune. I think it provides such a different kind of style. But yeah. Yeah. We're getting somewhere for sure. Yeah, I still want it to be 12 songs. Currently, I've got 12 now. So, yeah. We're getting somewhere. For sure. Alright, I better get some sleep. I'm gonna go to the gym early tomorrow with my friends from work, so I will, yeah, I better get some sleep. Alright, also my elbow's really hurting. It's like I've got tennis elbow, even though I've stopped playing tennis. I didn't have tennis elbow when I played tennis, but it feels like I have it now, so yeah. Sorry for rambling on, but yeah. We're getting somewhere. This week's been probably one of those productive weeks I've had. But I don't like using the term productive because output of what I've made doesn't kind of equate to productivity. I don't think it does anyway, especially for songwriting. But yeah, 3 songs written. So maybe productive isn't the right word, maybe just been a good week. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, goodbye.